have something, but and now kind of pulling in. Let's see what we have in here. So they've a little bit of building here on the frame with a little bit of wax they've built up and some honey, so that's good. We want to see obviously a lot more activity on here. Not really seeing too much, but that's okay. Is that super bright? Can't really tell. Looks like it's really bright on the screen. Hope you guys can see okay. Almost looks like it's like overexposed or something, but hey Damien, how you doing? Okay. On to the next one. So here we have some uncapped honey on this side. And then here we have a frame that's pretty much fully capped. Now I think this is a newer one. I can't quite remember. This may be one that we put in that was mostly full. We put in a couple frames of half harvested honey, and so this may be one of them. I'm not sure. But there's activity on here. There's bees, so hopefully, you know, they'll continue collecting. Right now what's in season is Brazilian pepper, and our main honey haul from these hives are going to be in the spring from the orange blossoms. But I would like them to build up these honeycomb frames so that they have a lot more frames that they can just dump honey in once that season starts. So here we have another kind of partially filled frame full of honey with a little bit of it capped, and then this side is mostly capped honey here. So you know, they have some activity here. They're kind of working a little bit, but nothing like super full. I was hoping to come in here and find a lot of these frames kind of full up, and you can see on here these next frames are just empty, nothing on there, no build up at all. And this is a common problem that you run into. All these next three frames are just completely bare, empty. That the bees prefer to use the frames that don't have any plastic foundation in them. They don't like the plastic foundation frames. But it's definitely more convenient for the beekeeper, cheaper to use these. If you have a non-foundation frame, what they'll be is something like this, but without, is this going to focus for me? What's going on? Without the plastic frame in here, and it'll just be two wires that kind of come through and cross through the middle, and they'll fill it all with wax, and the wires just add a little bit of support. But there won't be this kind of plastic frame in here, and those bees really love to build that up a lot more than this plastic stuff. They'll take to it eventually. It just takes a while. So kind of an unfortunate side effect of doing it the easy way. Definitely a lot easier to manage and all that, though, for sure. Oh, going to Deltona today, Damien. Okay. Hey, Flowers. Okay, we'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. So we look at the bees. So this is the queen excluder that Scott was talking about. So this here is what we use to keep the queen from going up into this upper level. And basically this her booty's too fat to fit through this grate, and so that keeps the queen down below, and using this for colony and other things, and then up above is where they go to store the honey, is what you hope, once the bottom gets full. Seeing some issues with beetles here, so I'm just killing a few of them. Alright, so again, outside frames typically empty. That's okay. Now I may have put too much, may have too much room in this hive for these bees as well. You know, they may just have so much room in here that they are filling the bottom part with food instead of kind of working up towards the top. But all this here is probably not good for me. It's got a mix of sugar water and some other stuff. Well, sugar water and maybe a little bit of corn syrup or something, which I use to feed the bees. And they've built these frames really low because I fed them a bunch of food and they just wanted a place to put it, so they kind of built this as fast as they could, and they jammed it full of stuff and then set it down. So I don't really think there's a lot of good honey in here anyway, but we'll keep kind of poking along. This is a good food frame here. This one, on the contrary, is very full. Let's take a look here and see. Make sure we don't have the queen on here. And so this is a food frame with lots of nectar or honey that they've made, capped honey. This is what I really want to see in our brood box, or our honey box up above, but bees quite haven't been busy enough. But this is like a fully, this one is a frame we would harvest normally. But again, this is I had this on the hive when I was feeding, so it's probably sugar water honey, which doesn't taste very good. If the bees make honey from the sugar water, it tastes funny. It doesn't really taste like actual honey, because they gather, you know, from trees and flowers and all that kind of stuff, and typically your honey will have some kind of flavor imparted from the plants they gather from. With the sugar water, it's just kind of bland and doesn't really taste like anything. It's not very good. So I'm just kind of looking in here, and I'm seeing a couple eggs kind of scattered around, laid, which is giving me a little hope. They're not really messy like they were before, but we're going to keep digging here, and hopefully we're going to find a nice frame of really pretty capped brood that'll tell me immediately how this hive is doing. And it may be on the next level down, we're not sure. This hive this is just a nectar, bunch of nectar here. Let's make sure the queen's not on here, and then I'll show you guys. So this is what the honey looks like before it's capped. And this could actually be the honey that we want, but they haven't filled up the bottom of their hive yet, so but this is all the liquid in there. That's all nectar that they've collected that they're turning into honey. And so this might be the problem that I'm running into, is that I have too much room in here, so they fill from the bottom up. And it might be that, you know, they have all this room in here that they're going to fill up with the good nectar first, and they'll go up to the top layer and fill up the top layer. So it may have given these bees too much room, and these are more capped frames of honey in here. So hopefully, I mean, they're kind of running out of room here. Hopefully they'll start building upstairs soon. Hopefully these bees will get busy. We'll just have to kind of see how they do over the next few months. I did see some eggs there, but I want to get a good look, so we're going to go a little bit lower down. to really hopefully find a good cluster of brood that I can look at to make sure that the queen is active in there. A professional might be able to look at this and say, oh yeah, that's fine, it's going well, but I need to get a good look at it. So let's see. Let's see. Where they go to play video games, get away from the queen, says Barf Bag. Yeah, upstairs, yeah. So hard not to have bees this year. So Barf, you like to, you do beekeeping? Yeah, so we're just checking the chat there a little bit. I have chat on the side. Eventually I may want to get a way that I can listen to the bees and listen to you guys here on with the text-to-speech thing, but I like being able to hear the bees, and I need to buy some special headphones that are like $70, but they're bone headphones that you put up against your